to fit both of us in this frame. That's quite a bit. You know, I have a wider frame than you.
You stop it. Do not. Do not.
Oh, yeah.
Nope.
Okay. We definitely have to tell them any background noise that you hear in this video, we do not own the rights to.
It's not used with permission. No. Just happened to be on because she clicked on YouTube.
Yeah. So any music here, this is our what? 4th video. This is going to be added memories of our life. We're going to download tonight. Okay, to add to our memoirs of videos. This is our next video to download to our wonderful audience of viewers. We're going to let everybody know about tonight is so, oh gee whiz, wow. I'm going to tell you, if you talk about an officer and a gentleman moment, too bad you weren't there for that moment.
Too bad I wasn't there, huh? Who are we going to talk about?
Okay. Where do we want to start with this? Okay. Well, first, let's go back. Okay, I know where we'll start at. So, Pete ended up, after us dating, and we can bring different instances of dating, our dating incidences, but he ended up telling me he was going off to his service, and he went off to his service, and I remember him graduating, but my mother, I remember a couple things. I remember my mother would not let me go see him graduate from the service. My mother was a very strict woman. She would not let me, she would not let me go in cars with boys at a very young age, like dating. Couldn't do that. I couldn't, I had to meet boys at a dance or be in a group. So I couldn't even go to his graduation with his parents. I couldn't. So when how did you see? You came back from graduation and you saw me. And we went out a few times then, and I happened to keep a diary, which was kind of the dumbest thing I think I'd ever done, right?
I mean, most girls do that, I guess.
Let's just put it this way.
I can't say most. I don't know.
I've
heard of some girls doing that.
I've learned that over years of time, that was probably the dumbest thing I'd ever done. I mean, at least being at home. So I kept a diary of things in our life and stuff, and he had shipped off again, and I wanted to keep a story of our life because I knew this was the guy I wanted to be with. So I was so excited, and I think my mom had an inkling something was going on between us. She knew then. She had an inkling because she knew how she had felt her life. And there was a story behind my mom's life and mine because history repeats itself. And so my mom was feeling history coming all over again. So she started snooping in my things. Went in my room. In my room this time, my twin sister and I shared a room for a long time, but I had a room downstairs, so she went snooping through my stuff. I thought I hid my stuff pretty darn good. Investigator mother found my thing and started looking through it and reading it, and I had been out with my sister and my friends, and I think my brother even at the time, or he may have been at home. Anyway, I just remember coming in and my mother was on the phone with my grandmother, and the look on her face told 100 million stories because I looked down and she had my diary and everything was in it. And then my brother looked down and he looked at me. His name's like, see ya, I'm out. And my sister was like, I'm going to grandma's or wherever. I don't even remember. She took off and I was like, oh man. And I was in shock. I just knew mom burned me. Like, mom knew what was all going on. So I was like, I'm mad. She's she found a lot of stuff, like a lot of stuff that's been going on. So she hung up for my grandma, and she chased me around the table for a little bit of time. And it was not fun. And then my dad had to come in there, and we all had a conversation. It was an interesting night. And then the next conversation was Pete calling, and I was dreading that day. I mean, I was always looking forward to Pete calling, don't get me wrong, but I was not looking forward for Pete calling that day.
I got an earlobe. Don't you ever call here again!
My mom.
I mean, I had to pull the phone back. I was like, what happened here?
My mom was not happy with Pete, you know. My mom had certain rules and certain things you followed, and my mom was very, she expected certain things, and she came from a certain background, and she wanted us to abide by those, and I can't fault my mom for that. My mother was a good mother. She loved us dearly, and we walked a fine line in her house, and when we didn't,
There was consequences.
very much so. And I learned that after that incident. Very
It's burned into your brain a little bit more, wasn't it?
Yeah, for quite a long time after that. So she was very astute to a lot of things. She was a good woman, though. I couldn't fault. Yeah,
Didn't change a thing either.
I wouldn't change a thing with that woman. She made a lot of my friends love her to death. Not even made them. That is not even how I want to put it. She was a Girl Scout leader, and she was always beside us, like rearing us and just trying to give us the things that she didn't have. And I remember that about her when she was in her young years and rearing us those years, you know. And like I said, we have reasons for seasons, and when you're young, you can do things with your kids, and then you advance years and years and years. So I just, you know, each year everything changes, and I feel that even with me, and I feel that with our kids, you know, your kids and my kids, and then my kid's dad, I see that with him. So I mean, it's just everything you see the changes, you know. So back to the whole other point of that story, so when you came back, what did Mom say? She okay, first of all I'm gonna tell you, when you called that night, I was only supposed to be allotted to be on the phone for only a short time. But did you know, come to find out, I knew Mom was upset with me, but she wasn't really mad she really wasn't mad at you or I when the chips came to fall. She was upset and mad. She would get mad and tell Dad all about it. But do you know that she would also when she told Dad, and Dad kind of enforced her rules, and then later she'd come back and apologize, and she tried to lift the rules, and then Dad would still enforce the rules. So then she'd make him look like the bad guy, and then she'd be the nice person, and he wouldn't lift the rules because she'd already enforced the rules. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So I don't know how else to explain that, but yes, that's what I mean. She did that, so I don't know. That's how that works.
She still chased you around the table.
Yeah, she was not happy.
Where's your dad at this whole time, man?
Oh, he ended up getting up out of bed. He was kind of sleeping.
He was sleeping.
He was
That's
sleeping.
enforcing the rules.
Yeah, he was sleeping. He was trying to sleep for work, and she kind of woke him up. That kind of happened on a basis that she was mad at us. She'd tell Grandma stuff, and then she got mad. She kind of got loud, and then Dad woke up, and Dad come in there and go, "What's the noise going on in here? I can't sleep. I'm trying to sleep. Can't sleep." Blah, 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 blah. And, yeah, kind of one of those things. It was kind of funny. If she'd wake him up though, then like, I think she knew he wasn't very happy about it.
Probably
and then
not.
kind of chill out a little
Probably
bit.
not.
that you know, that working at Caterpillar and stuff, brought about back to the whole thing about both our dads worked at Caterpillar. That was another thing too. Both our dads worked at Caterpillar, so back to the same thing. It's just weird. So then I'm kind of regressing. Go back again because I'm regressing. But so then you came home finally, and Mom kind of became a little enlightened. I don't know how to say that. They were very not so pressed to be angered anymore about that. I guess
made her peace with it. I
Yes.
guess.
I guess that's how I would put it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's about that issue. I don't know. I want to say what they read in the, or what she read in the notebook would make any mother angry. If you're expecting something of your daughter that you want her to wait for marriage, is what I would say. So my only thought to that was, you want the best for your children. And I always told my mother this: you raised me the best you knew how, and you gave me all the tools and all the ideals to give to my kids. So I'm going to live my life with what you raised me. I'm going to try to do the best I can. Did I do everything correct? Nope. Did I do it flawless? Nope. Did we do it flawless? No. We're not flawless. So just remember that when you're out there, you're doing things, you screw up, your relationships aren't right, you fight, you argue, you mess up. Just don't push it beyond certain boundaries, because sometimes you can push it and say and do things to each other you can't take back. And that's when it becomes a little too much. So,
Too much.
right. And you don't want to do that. So try to pull that back. Don't do that. Talk. Communication is key. That's where we've decided. That's where our relationship's at. When we came together, that's one thing we don't do is yell or scream.
No reason to.
No. So we wish everyone the best of luck. I think this is the most I kind of lose words at times. My train of thoughts going fast, but I think this is a much more serious video for us. But there's several things we're able to put out in our videos to bring to light, and also lessons. I want everyone to know that we learn lessons every day. We also look at our Bible all the time, and there's lessons in everything, and I don't want to throw it out all the time, God to everyone, but He is in our lives every day, and He teaches us things every day. So just know we're all blessed. We learn every day. As a couple, you work together. No matter what couple you are and what you do, we learn and we strive. You have anything else?
I really don't.
We got a lot of milestones to throw out. It takes up a lot of minutes, and we're already too long. I don't know where we're gonna get with this, but good luck. Wish you guys the best.